I mean, this is someone, Mars, Neptune, Sun, Mercury, smart person. But he has changed countries. He had added a language, and he built up his world here. And it's like he's a really successful person in that way. But it's not a chart where his status is all that important. It's what he knows and what he's learning. His sun is going down to the 3rd and 4th house. It's what he's learning in his lifetime, his spiritual depth, that is the strong factor in his progressed sun and his progressions. So we're just looking at the moon and the phases coming in around us. So the next new moon is not till 2038, so that's a long way. The full moon is in 2022, so he's coming up to a full moon in 2022, September 12th, 2022. Okay, so really from August to October into October 2022. That's a full moon. That's a realization of here's the past and the future sit wide awake on both sides of the chart. In his 9th house, so here's the past understanding, here's my new understanding, here's where I'm going, here's where I'm coming from. And there's an awareness that comes with this, that, wow, I can see where I am, but I can't go back this way. I'm not going back. You've reached the peak of that awareness, then you have to go back. You're moving back towards your next new moon on your own terms. You see a limit to how far things go, whether that's with brothers or sisters or how much traveling and where one lives, but that's still ahead. So the idea of social ceremonies, mystical ceremonies, like he's studying more, but it's almost like he's being pulled out to maybe be part of chanting group, maybe part of meditation group, maybe part of some involvement that he believes in, he's working with, maybe astrology group. He still has this need going on through here to keeping in environments that would work well for him. Eventually, this is taking him down to when it hits his IC, and it hits his IC. Yeah, I put the dates for the IC here. It hits the square too, but hits the IC. Last time was 2010, 1983, 2010, and now 2037 will be his deepest motivation point in his life. So, and then he gets deeply, deeply motivated, the moon there, and then by 2038, it's at the next new moon. So these are very deep, profound, mystical times. And sometimes, on mystical times, either people die, or things happen that force a deeper understanding. Sometimes he's just leaving situations, or certain situations change. We don't know what it is. You were looking at the outside with the transits. Here, the inside thing is going on, regardless of where the transits will be. No, but you get used to the transits. You have them pretty well memorized for the next 5 or 10 years, and you get at least Saturn and out. And if you can, memorize them for 50 years. But then you got it for your lifetime, and you can be working with it. So you have that without needing it forever. So you can see the outer timings as you're working with these inner things and the inner soul growing within this. So here you see it's going deeper and deeper and deeper to the IC, the new moon. It's all about deep personal inner security. It's not about where one fits in the world. It's about what one believes, what one knows, what's true, and how to stay in touch with it. And since all of this is motivated in Capricorn, often that's for career, this may end up being motivated by some spiritual discipline or some commitment in a belief system that one's going to live in. Okay. So now we're going to get to how we doing. Okay, we just got Donald Trump and Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung to do. So now we have things with more specific stories to go with what's going on. So all these printouts I did on the wind star. And the ones I'm just showing is the moon to all the aspects to everything in the chart. So you have a full moon thing. I know when I pull it up to, here we are. Okay, so I put 2 dates in here. One was 2016 to 2017 when he won the election. And one is 2020 up to 2021 for the next election, just to see what was going on. That's kind of contemporary right now. Okay, let's get his moon phase. First, moon phase, he's on a waxing new moon phase. He's had his new impression. That started, the new moon phase started September 16th, yesterday, 2019. He's got a new moon phase. He's going on a new way. Like on the end of the moon phase, he got elected. Like he was in the waning crescent phase. It was like an intuitive psychic thing, but it was kind of strange that he got in. I don't think he expected it to himself. Now he's in and he's there. And this September, he has a new moon attitude to going forward. So you read the new moon phase, and that new moon phase, sometimes you have the impression you see where you're going, but it doesn't show outwardly till 2.5 days, 2.5 years later. Well, 2.5 years is after the election. It's points to, but it's a powerful point, and he's in a powerful position. But this is the new moon, so it's an inner point. Let's back up for a second. Yeah, it's not an eclipse. His eclipse has happened earlier. And okay, so during this phase, this new moon phase, it's in his first house. His progressed sun went over his ascendant when he got elected. It was right on the ascendant, and then the moon's catching up to it, and he's got the new moon now. He's elected. He's president. It's gone. Both of them have gone into Virgo. So instead of just playing the Leo role, which he's been playing, now he's putting his ideas out and trying to. It's got the Mercury theme of the Virgo. Well, the Mercury theme, his Mercury is very afflicted, squared by Neptune. So he's trusting the validity of his ideas. And he's not necessarily seeing how questionable they are, but that new moon is this new moon is being in Virgo. It's highlighting his mental capacity and his decisions. And it's bringing, here it is right now, 2019, September 16th. This deep impression is happening right now. This is at a time where in the world, Saudi Arabia oil field just got bombed, and he's right away he jumped on the fact that it must be Iran, even though there was no proof about it right away. So he's pumped up on this idea. He's quick to draw wrong conclusions with Neptune, but he has this belief on it. So he's fired up, but that new moon was right on that issue. Okay, this is outside stuff coming into the inside stuff, but here's the person managing inside of it. You know, his thinking, we get the best equipment, best wars, best things. We pulverize anybody we fight. You know, but we're ready to go in and attack Iran. But like, it's more than that. That's the outer thing. This is still happening with his family, with people around him, with everything going around, and this impression has come in. It's a new moon, a personal impression. The full moon is the awareness of the results of that, which will come in 15 years. In 2035, but this one, it's in his first house, all about him still, his ideas. Okay, so while this is while this is going on, the moon over the first house, went into Virgo, it squares Uranus next month. So no, next year it squares Uranus. So that's next fall, election time. Right at election time, it's squaring it. The month before elections, the moon starts squaring Uranus, and it'll be there till the month after. So that moon square Uranus, it's in progressions. It's a shock of change. It could be the shock that you mean I have to move, some change over its rest. Then by January, it's squaring the nodes. It gives you a sense that on this, you think, well, maybe he's not staying put there. Maybe he's put out. Maybe he's put out. If he doesn't win this next election, he's got a lot of legal issues that will come up and will affect him. But you can see this inner working, and something's changing. He's moving strongly in his vision towards, but that moon is unstable. Like it's going to shake up by next year. It's building up there, and the moon's moving up to it. That's at 17 degrees. The sun's not going to be in that orb yet. So it picks up the moon impression, goes up to the Uranus, and then starts being squaring the Uranus. That's the shake up from his position and status. So you can work these progressions to outer things, but you're really trying to see the inner side inside of him. And that inner side is the waxing new moon. And reading the maximum moon, you're going to see his inner way of approaching what's going on. Okay, if you go back to 2016 when he got elected, the progressed moon was square Jupiter when he started running, but by the time he's elected, the moon conjunct Saturn. I remember that time because he got elected, and And that's just the time before he was supposed to move into the White House. He moved into the White House, but his wife and the kid didn't want to move out of their apartment because their kid was going to school, wanted to finish the school year. So he had to go through a period not living in the same place as his wife. There was a struggle around this. There's the moon squaring Jupiter, conjunct Saturn, conjunct Venus. She would never predict that. But looking in retrospect, you can see, well, that's really appropriate. That really was what happened. Then by June, the moon went into the 12th house, and the moon hit Pluto, and the moon hit Mars. So you have his Mars in the 12th house. So the moon hitting this, conjuncting the Pluto and the Mars in the 12th house. That's been his very aggressive stance, his instinct on the aggressive stance on pushing things. I mean, it's in Leo. Babies have been separated from their families. They fight the immigrants, fight and protect our. You can see that defensive attitude coming through this. This is some negative, so I don't mean to get so negative, but I'm just making the associations from this to connecting it to his history of things. And even though you have the outer history going on, you still have the inner development, the inner phase that's formulating. It's really formulating his identity strongly. So even once after he's been president, he's going to promote that he's been the president, no matter more that he's going to use it. But there's certain things implying a rocky road here. So it's one. Let's just say you get 100 factors. Here's a couple of factors going to the fact that looks like the next election is disruptive, and he's personally destabilized from it or insecure from it. So. Yeah, whether that means he's out or whether there's impeachment or whether there's things, it's hard. I don't know the politics well enough to follow that. But I'm looking at vulnerabilities, and certainly there's big changes coming up. And see, the new moon means the moon's just been charged up by the sun and it's moving forward. And then that charged up moon is being disrupted. It's not being supported. And it's not till 2022 that it's conjunct Neptune, and there's a new vision or a new way of going at things, a new belief. And that may be going back to business or something. I don't know. Okay, so next one is Carl Jung. There you go. And for Carl Jung and Sigmund Freud, I'm looking at the same years of when they were together and when they for when they knew each other. Okay, and I think the new moon phase I took was the one close to when they split up. So let's see. Yes, 1910 to 1914 was the new moon phase. He was in the new moon phase. Like progressive new moon phase, like Trump just went, but he's in the new moon phase in 2010. This is the point of him beginning to go on his own and beginning to attack Freud and separate himself from Freud and build up his own synchronicity and collective unconscious, his own way and approach after this new moon phase. That was a really profound time. We don't know the whole story. We don't know where else he got influenced here. I'm not sure it was from the I Ching or what it was from, but there were some other influences other than Freud. Something other new thing came in that affected. He just got new insights around it. Okay, now, if we look back to when they first met, okay, we'll just back up a little bit. So we got that moon phase, yeah, the new moon phase. So there we go. It was a completion of things as he met Freud. It was in the waning crescent phase, going back like it's he's picking up impressions, but it was ending the old so the new could come in. So he definitely felt Freud was the old and he's going in and